Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are about a couple of events coming up at the Amana Performing Arts Center. Tom Milligan from TKM Theatrical Productions.
Good to be back.
Nice to see you. Of course, we're going to talk about a theatrical production in just a couple of minutes, but also a musical production, and that's why Rod Pierson is here.
That's right. Thank you, Dennis.
Rod, great to see you. It's been a while.
Too, my friend.
Nice to the Rod Pierson Big Band back in action.
Back in action, and I've always wanted to do a Christmas show with the band, and interestingly, the last chart just landed this morning. UPS.
Yeah, and at the time we're taping, we're about a week and a half out. So
right on. But we have the right players to pull this off, and it's going to be a great time.
So the RPBB, as we in the trade call it, the Rod Pierson Big Band, of course, still featuring Craig Boche on vocals.
Yeah.
And you've never done a holiday show before, or it's been a while?
I participated with other groups just as a side player. I've never actually led an entire Christmas theme show before, and I think for the sake of not having people drink musical eggnog through a fire hose, that we've come up with a nice blend of our most popular tunes interspersed amongst the higher percentage will be the standard secular holiday themes that we're all so familiar with.
Okay, well, unlike, say, Tim Hankiewicz, who has Christmas concerts that he's got to figure out every year and sometimes multiple shows, this is a case where you haven't had the opportunity to fully program one of these. So what was at the top of your list headed in?
The top of my list were the tunes that I had acquired over the past 18 years since our group's been reformed with Craig at the microphone. But we're featuring, of course, now with the recent passing of Quincy Jones, but there are some orchestrations that he had put down for Frank Sinatra. There are some classics from Michael Bublé's holiday album, now I think plus 20 years in the past.
He's not exactly a spring chicken either.
I say it's modern, big band. And then, some Harry Connick Jr., but mostly, and also I should mention, we'll be featuring Deb Kennedy.
That's right.
That's right. Deb, the K in TKM Productions, for those who don't know, leads her own band, sings and plays sax with Fork in the Road, and you'll be featuring her too, huh?
We selected a Frank Duvall arrangement.
Oh, nice.
If you remember Brady Bunch, such popular shows in the past, at the end of the trailer would say, music by Duvall. Well, Frank was a very popular and in-demand arranger out in the Hollywood market for almost 30 years. Long story short, he also scored some Christmas tunes for Ella Fitzgerald. So this is going to be really a nice treat to hear Deb perform an original Ella.
What's the personnel of the Rod Pierson Big Band these days? I know it's a little fungible. You have a rotating cast of characters depending on who's available and things like that. So who's on this gig?
We're glad to say we're bringing in the A-team on this one. So it'll feature Chris Mertz on saxophone, Drew Pierson, my son, saxophone, Eddie McKinley, and then trumpets will be Steve King, Lee Stickney, and Randy Grabowski. And on trombone, Mike McMahon, Rich Med. In the rhythm section is Brian Zeglis, John Schwabe on bass, Brian plays drums, and of course Steve Shanley, our chief arranger of the band, and just such a musical talent, as we all know.
In so many different areas. Well, sure. Like you said, that is definitely the A-team. It's just too bad you can't find good people to play in your band, huh?
Well, Easter and I was rich with musical talent. We've had these conversations before, and unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, but the reality is my big band is a 13-member organization. There are a lot of big bands that will actually fill out full sections with four...
Which is 19.
19,
right, yeah.
Yep, and would even include a guitar there at that number. But finances, economics being what they are, and just logistics alone, plus the original big band format back in the 30s and 40s would be for a road band to carry 13 to maybe 15 players at the most.
Sure, and that is the case here. 19 was the full complement, but on the road, between availability Correct. And having a few extra folks, everything was also arranged for the smaller number.
Agreed.
Probably.
Certainly, yeah.
So you mentioned that the current incarnation of the band has been going for 16 or 18 years, and many other years before that. Rod was 4 when he started directing a big band.
No, but I will mention, come June of 25, that'll be my 40th year leading this band.
Wow. So what's changed? We mentioned the economic realities, fewer opportunities for a big band to get gathered. What else is different in hosting and directing one of these shows?
In mainly my experience, of course, we do perform a number of concerts and shows. Are just the dances. We would do public dances. Used to be 4 hours long. Now they're 3 hours. They used to run 8 to midnight. Now they're scheduled 6 to 9. As our following audience is aging, self-included, it has become more of a social gathering. It's always been a gathering and meeting place. It's been just so fun to watch through the years. Communities and friends gather just to have fun. Just to have fun and to listen to great live music too.
When we listed personnel, now you mentioned Craig Boche earlier, but
Yes.
then when we listed personnel, we didn't actually mention him, but of course he continues to be your swinging frontman.
Craig is central to the production, and most of the Christmas tunes will highlight Craig at the mic.
This is coming up the 1st of December, Sunday, yes,
sir.
right,
Sunday
Tim?
at 2 o'clock. Yep.
At the Amana Performing Arts Center, and 2 o'clock. So again, that go to the concert, then go out to dinner,
Right.
Instead of having to worry about going someplace for dinner and maybe being late for the show. So
We planned it that way.
so that's coming up the 1st of December, and then Tom, you turn right around and stage your Christmas theater show.
We do. This is going to be a great holiday season for us at TKM because with the band coming in on Saturday and then on Friday, we open up our Christmas show, which is this year as well as last year. We'll run 2 weekends. Usually our productions just run 1 weekend, but we'll be running 2 weekends. And the fun of it's Murder for Christmas. It is a farce that's written by Karen Schaeffer and her son Alex Schaeffer,
who I had a chance to interview
yeah.
previously. She's
Right.
Des Moines-based playwright.
She did. She wrote Girls Weekend for us last year, and when she was here last year, she said, "Hey, I've got this Christmas show that has yet to be produced. We've written it." So we kind of, at that point in time, made the decision to go ahead and do this, and so we'll be the first people to produce the show. So we're going through those phases, kind of like putting together bringing your band back together and putting a new set together. We're going through, we have a script that's never been done before, that it's been over a year since the playwrights have really taken a look at it. They were here 3 days last week and spent 3 days in rehearsal with us, trying to figure out what was right, what was wrong, change a line, change a word, maybe going, how is that supposed to work? So it's been a real treat working in that format. We have a great cast of 9 people that have taken on that responsibility of we're going to present the show the way we see it because nobody's ever done it before, and so it's been a treat and a challenge.
What is the quick synopsis of A Murder for Christmas? Part of this we can kind of figure out for ourselves, but
it is. It's a story about. It's a murder mystery. It's a farce. It's a story about a small community theater that has a young lady from their town that decided she would go to L.A. and become a movie star. Well, she made one B movie and ended up back home in a community theater production of A Christmas Carol, which they do annually. Their Scrooge was unavailable, so they do a little gender bending, and this young lady plays Scrooge in their Christmas Carol. So it's kind of one of those things where whatever could go wrong does go wrong, to include somebody dies, and then it becomes a murder mystery. But it's one of those things where it's everything kind of goes wrong. So it's like a combination of noises off and the play that goes wrong. So it's been fun working with the cast, and really interesting working with Karen and Alex, because they came up and made a lot of changes, looked at the script and said, why did we ever do that? So we've been dealing with that as we go along. But that's part of the fun of live theater and creating something that's never been done before.
well, kind of a good news, bad news situation.
Yeah.
The bad news is we've got this play that we haven't worked all, that that has never been produced, so so a lot of it's untested.
Yeah.
But the good news is they are right there to help you work through it, and that's got to be kind of fun.
It was. We had a lot of questions. It's like, what were you thinking about when you did this? And there were some different situations where it's like, well, it's kind of like in the movie The Sixth Sense when you realize that he's been dead for all that time.
Spoilers for a 30-year-old movie. Sorry
about that. And then you start Rolodexing back through your mind about, wait a minute, when did he do this? When did he do this? Well, this was kind of the same way because we got to the point where we knew who the murderer was, but then it didn't quite work out in the script that way. So we had to make some changes and things like that. So it's been an interesting project.
TKM Theatrical Productions has 2 holiday productions coming up. First off, A Swinging Christmas with the Rod Pierson Big Band featuring Craig Boche on December 1st, and then A Murder for Christmas world premiere.
World premiere, right here. It says so right on my poster.
Opening December 6th, then running for 2 weekends.
Yep.
People want tickets. Where do they get them?
You can always get tickets at tkmtheatricalproductions.com, and for both shows are on there. And everything is selling really, really well.
Okay, so don't wait.
Don't wait, because we're going to fill up fast, and especially for the big band, that's only one performance at 2 o'clock on the 1st, and then we've got 6 shows of Murder for Christmas. So get your tickets now. They're selling really, really well.
Well, a lot going on, but it sounds like a lot of fun. And gentlemen, thanks for being here, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Dennis. Same to you.
Appreciate that.
You can hear The Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.